For 30 years, we have been lighting up the night. We are Baja Designs, the scientists of lighting.
Stacy Clark here, owner and general manager of Unlimited RV. As racers, we know how important time is. Not bad, kid. 5 seconds faster. As racers, we know how important reliability is. At Unlimited RV, we have lifetime warranties, so you know we've got you covered. At Unlimited RV, we offer nationwide free shipping, so you don't have to waste your time getting into the RV or motorhome for your next big adventure.
La Bufadora, the authentic taste of Baja.
Your winter savings start now at 4 Wheel Parts with deals on tires, wheels, and accessories for your rig. Get clearance items and select products for up to 50% off while supplies last, plus up to 20% off Overland products and up to $200 off BFG tires. The deals won't last long, so hurry in to your local 4 Wheel Parts or shop online at 4WP.com.
Your locally owned Bill Alexander Ford has the vehicles you want. F-Series, Bronco, Expedition, Edge, Explorer, Escape, and Ranger. And try our mobile service for light maintenance. We will come to you. For a difference you can count on, visit us in person or go to BillAlexanderFord.com.
KMC's pursuit of victory has pushed us to the front of the pack, to the brink of destruction, and across the finish line for decades. Regardless of the driver, the vehicle, or the terrain, these are the wheels that will help you win by a landslide. The process of relentlessly redefining performance cannot be learned or taught. It's in our DNA.
All right, guys, welcome back for a few more times here. This will be the last update we do before we get a finisher, but this won't be our last update, so don't worry. It is our 2 a.m. update here on Fishgistics. This is our 16th update today, 16th hour of updates. Hope you guys have enjoyed it today, and we're not done yet. We don't have a finisher across the line in the 4-wheel class yet, but we are getting very, very close. So hopefully you guys are still awake. It is 2:05 a.m. A whole bunch of you guys are probably going to go to sleep very shortly after we see the first finisher, but we're not going to sleep yet, so don't worry. We're gonna keep you guys updated. So let's go over and look at the tracker. It's been a long day, and everybody's getting a little tired, but right now we have the 83 who is almost to the speed section, and it's looking pretty good for Luke McMillan right now. The McMillan team. Luke is leading. He's been leading most of the day, most of the afternoon, actually most of the day. Him and Rob Mack had a good battle. Menzies was in there for a little bit, but it's pretty much been the Luke McMillan show today. Luke McMillan and Rob Mack driving earlier with him. Dan McMillan in the 23 is second, still second. He dropped back a little bit, so I think Dan's playing it a little conservative here. He knows he's not going to catch Luke. Luke's not going to let Dan around him. He just has to be within a minute of him, but it's really not worth breaking the truck at this point. I think Dan McMillan is content with the second place finish behind his brother, which is pretty freaking cool. So he's just in cruise mode getting to the finish right here. It's what it seems like, at least, because he has dropped back a little bit. And I don't think there's any reason that Luke McMillan would be pushing hard right here, trying to make up time. So, you know, I don't know, but I think that's what's going on right now. We did just have a couple more bikes finish. And one of the, let's see. So, yeah, the 83, the 93, don't pay attention to them. They are on the highway, the 714F. Justin Park is also on the highway, so they're not in the race. It's only those two up front. Behind them, we have the 43, Larry Rossler. Oh, Larry Rossler. He's soloing the whole race. He has not got out of the truck today. He is driving the entire thing himself. I think his co-driver's staying the same with him all day, too, I'm pretty sure. So very cool to see Larry Rossler doing a good job here in the 43. Behind him, we have Dave Taylor. He's going to be next. And then behind them, we have the 85, Mikey Lawrence. And then we have the 264, Pierce Herbst. That is your first spec truck. And actually, that spec truck is currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th overall. But we do have the 21L in there too, so they're going to be 7th overall. So this might be one of the highest finishes. I'll have to look again. I think a spec truck has finished 8th or maybe 10th at the Baja 1000 before, but I'll have to look. This could be the highest finish for a spec truck in a Baja 1000 race if everything goes the way it's looking right now. We still got a little ways to go, so we will have to wait and see what happens. But it looks like the 19, Tim Herbst, having a pretty good day behind them, so not bad. 153's out. The 238, this is Eli Tiger right here. So in the 238 entry, they're going to be second place in the spec truck class. So we got Pierce Herbst, then the 238, then the 233. Those are your top 3 spec truck classes. Or not classes, in the class, top 3 in the class. So once again, we're just waiting for Luke McMillan to get to the finish line basically now. And then when I see him get to the finish line in a little bit here, we'll sign off. Everybody can go over to the score feed and watch them interview Luke at the finish. So we will, we're just waiting for him to get in. This is almost, all this is almost a speed zone all the way back in. So really the racing stops when you get to Ojos right here. Nobody's going to make up any time after Ojos. It's a speed zone most of the way back in here, so there's not any time or any difference to be made up. Really, the race ends just about at Ojos for the most part. So let's see. Let's go back and look. Where's the first Class 1 car? So if we're scrolling back down, the 138 is going to be your lead Class 1 car. That is Kyle Quinn in the 138. He has just gone up the Goat Trail right here outside of Valley T. And he is your lead Class 1 car. So Kyle Quinn is in first there. And then, let's see, behind him, it's a long ways like it's been all day. We got the 263, EJ Herbst coming along, 244. Class 10, look at this battle. We've been talking about this battle all day. We have the 1022 and the 1016 going back and forth. They're still going back and forth. 1022's been sticking in front of the 1016 for a while, though. Then it comes back and we have the 85L. I think that's going to be your second place in the Legends class because we know that the 21L is in front. And then we come back here, the 1009, 299. We got the 6 still moving, the 1062. So another L entry back here, the 37L. So that's kind of a look at those classes. Let's go look at the top again. We're just going to keep you guys updated as Luke McMillan comes into the finish line. He has about 25 miles to go. So our time is, we're going to be off a little bit. We're still in our 2 to 3 window that I originally thought a long time ago, but I did think he'd be done at 2:15. So this last section's a little bit slower, especially with this speed zone. Up here, it's going to take a little bit. He's going to be done closer to not quite 2:15, probably just a little bit after that. We're probably going to be off by about 5 minutes or so on our guess at 2:15. Probably going to be more like 2:20. So we'll see when he finishes, but he's getting close. Luke can feel it right now. He's won the last 2 Baja 1000s. He's done this exact same thing. He knows what it's like. So this will be the hat trick for him. Him and Rob McCackran teamed up. Seem to be unbeatable at the Baja 1000 right now. So we'll see. A couple miles to go. Like I said, his brother Dan McMillan running in second. Absolutely no pressure on Luke McMillan from anybody back here. Larry Rossler soloing the whole race, running in third. That is epic if Larry Rossler can get on the podium at a Baja 1000 doing the whole thing himself. Way cool for Larry. The other thing that we wanted to show you, let me see if we can turn on the check this out. I noticed this earlier. We've been checking out the Ironman guys all day, right? So the Pro Moto Ironman, check this out. Pro Motor Ironman, Moto Ironman. Try to say that a bunch of times fast. Look at this race. Remember the 750? The 750, Brandon Wright has been out front all day. However, look at this. He's been reeled in and caught. He's really slowing down. So I think that Brandon Wright is definitely having a hard time out there on the bike. He's gotten caught by the 739X now, and actually the 775 is almost catching both of them also. So we got a race here, guys, in the Pro Moto Ironman. These guys have been on a bike all day. They started at like 4 or 5 o'clock this morning, whatever time they got off the line. They haven't got off the bike. If they did, it was at a pit to get a drink of water and put some fuel on the bike, and then they got right back on. So hell of a race going on in the Ironman bike category right here. Brandon Wright, like I said, he's slowing down a little bit. He's just got to get to the finish, and they have see how far do they got to go. They got 71 miles to go to the finish line, but this is going to be fun to watch this Ironman race when they get to the finish. Let's see if the 739 can hold off the 750 now. Is the 775 going to put some crazy speed in the last section here and catch up to both these guys? I don't know. We will have to wait and see. So just wanted to point that out for you guys if you're watching at home. Keep an eye on that on the tracker. That's a good one. The Pro Moto Ironman. Looking pretty fun. We also have some Pro Quad Ironman. These guys are even gnarlier. I don't think I'd ever want to ride a couch for the whole Baja 1000. That is gnarly. We have the 83A down here. He's actually stopped right now. And then the 80A is going to catch up to him. He's doing 12 miles an hour. So definitely, I don't know. That's a long time to be riding a quad solo all day. I guess you can sit down on a quad, but it's a lot heavier. It's not as nimble. So I don't know. What's harder to ride, a quad or a dirt bike? I've never rode either of them in a race, and I've only rode a dirt bike a couple times, but I definitely wouldn't want to do the whole Baja 1000 on one. So those guys are all they're all crazy. Let's see some of the other classes. Let's go look at the front again. We got to keep an eye on the front. I'm going to keep going back to here until Luke finishes, just to make sure nothing happens here. So Luke McMillan still moving, a mere 21.9 miles from victory. Only 21 miles now, just moved another 9/10 of a mile. He's moving 41 miles an hour. He does have a couple bikes in his way right here. You got the 225. They're stopped, so that's good. They probably just pulled over. They saw his lights coming. The 111 is probably shouldn't get in his way too much here. Everybody's going slow at this point anyways. Luke's not in a hurry. He knows all he has to do is get it to the finish line at this point. So definitely some interesting... It's been an interesting race. You know, it was fun. It was a little bit more fun earlier when we had some more lead changes and everything. Kind of the second half of the race, most of the guys fell off, and it's just been the Luke and Dan show. And it's really cool for them. It just hasn't been quite as exciting of a bunch of lead changes and going back and forth like it was earlier in the day. But it's the Baja 1000, so it's always exciting no matter what. Looking at the spec truck class, like we said a little bit ago, we have the 264 Pierce Herbst out front still, followed by the 238 Eli Tiger here, and then we have the 233 Justin Davis with Jeremy Davis driving it. That's your top three, so we'll see who gets to the finish line first. And then we come down to the 225 that are out of the race. They're out of the race. The 263 is in the race, so that's going to be your next fourth place car. And then fifth place is the 244, and that's a look at those classes. So I'm going to sign off after a couple more classes here so we can make sure that Score gets the interview at the finish with Luke. It's going to be about 10 minutes probably, at least till Luke gets there. He might stop at the time zone for a couple minutes too, they got to pull his tracker off the car and all that stuff. Then let's see. The other class I wanted to look at was some of the UTV classes. So the forced induction class, it's been the Austin Weiland show. We won't have to scroll far. Right here, he is still out front just checking out on everybody. He's got a little bit of a gap again. Looks like about the same gap to Phil Burton as last hour. So these two guys just cruising along. Justin Lambert, 0 miles an hour. That's not good for Justin Lambert. He's at 0. That means that PJ Jones might catch up pretty quick. So PJ Jones just behind Justin Lambert at 0. Matt Burrows back here. And then Ronnie Anderson is... Check this out. He's not in 5th. Well, that's amazing. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Matt Burrows is actually in 5th, and Ronnie Anderson is in 6th now. So they have moved back a position. They were pretty much running 5th position all day, and now they've given up a position, and they are back in 6th. So we'll see what position they get to the finish in. They still have they have a long way to go. They have almost 300 miles to go, about 250 miles to go, these guys do. So it's going to be a long night for these guys. All right, so I think we're going to, let's go look at the front again. Luke's going to be coming in pretty soon. So there's Luke McMillan, and he's almost to the speed zone. It's a 45-mile-an-hour section here, is what he's been doing. I think the speed zone actually starts up here. I forget exactly where it is, honestly. It's 2 a.m. I don't remember exactly where the speed zone is, but I do know that Luke is cruising right here. He is just trying to get this thing to the finish. So Luke McMillan and Jason Duncan. Yeah, Jason Duncan has been riding in this truck all day. Great job to Jason Duncan. They got they broke a drive shaft earlier. So when Rob was driving it, they had to get out, had to change the drive shaft. They stayed in the race. They didn't give up. It's just a drive shaft, simple change. It took them about 10 minutes, it looked like. And then they got back on the road, and here they are, ready to lead. They're leading the race, ready to win another one. A few years ago, Luke actually had to change a power steering pump in a race, and then he won too. So they know they get some parts changed really fast on that truck. And in a Baja 1000, you are never out of it. The McMillan crew is one of the best out here. They can do anything on that truck as fast as anybody. There's no way you'd put anybody up against the McMillan crew, one of the top crews out here, as they've been out here for many years, and they have lots of Baja experience. So Dan and Luke, cool to see them doing good. Josh Daniel did a great job with Billy Baruti in the 23 earlier. They gave Dan a little relief for a little while. They did a great job, kept the truck where they needed to, handed it off in first place on the road. So I don't know what more you can do than that. That's what you want your second driver to do. If they bring you the truck first on the road, that's all you can ask for. So definitely pretty cool. All right. Well, I think that that kind of covers this update here. I'll be back. I'll be back at 3 o'clock for another update. But obviously, Luke is going to be at the finish soon. So go over to the score feed if you're not watching this right now on the score feed. They will have an interview with Rat. They're down there. I see them right here. They got it up. They're at the podium at the finish. And let's hear what Luke has to say. Looks like it's going to be Luke McMillan. And if it is, congrats, Luke, on your third Baja 1000 in a row. That is pretty freaking cool. I don't know if anybody can say that, actually, 3 in a row. I'll have to look in the history books. His dad would know. Mark would know. So we'll find that out. It's got a couple miles to go to the finish line, but it looks like Luke's probably going to do it. So we're going to turn it over to the score feed, and we're going to watch that ramp and see who comes across first. But it's going to be Luke, as long as he doesn't have a problem. So we'll see you guys back at 3 o'clock for your next Fish